So trim my brisket, and like I said, I really don't like to trim brisket all that much, or really any protein that I'm smoking. This one I had to trim down because of the this flap that I had. Unfortunately, I really had to take more of the point than I really wanted to. Anyway, it's gonna be delicious nonetheless. To season the brisket, I follow the Franklin method of just a 1-to-1 ratio, salt and pepper. Pretty simple mix. We don't want to take away from the flavor of the brisket itself. We're gonna flip it over. We're just gonna put a little bit of mustard on, not much, just want enough basically for this to bind, to grab, get all portions of it. That salt and pepper, that coarseness, the reason we want that is really for more surface area. All right, flip it over, do the same thing. Okay, that's our brisket. My hand is ice cold right now. So pro tip, you want to season the bottom first. That way, from a presentation perspective, the top of your brisket or your protein is going to be more presentable. So while my fire's going, or while my fire's priming here, I guess you can say, one thing to note, I got my vent wide open, so getting lots of airflow to it. My coal pin is set to the very bottom setting. As my fire progresses, I'll add in a few pieces, 3 to 4 pieces, depending on their sizes. In this case, I'll add 3 of similar sized wood, because I want them to all burn down roughly the same time. It'll just help me manage my heat a lot better. There's 2 reasons why I like to almost prime my protein in the barrel while my fire is burning down. One, it's to bring that internal temperature up evenly, meaning right now it's probably hovering at only like 80, 100 degrees at most. I'm gonna leave that there as this is burning down, as my coals are burning down. I'm gonna leave that there to help bring that balance up, and then I'm gonna lower this down and increase that heat. The second reason that I do that is I'm actually progressing. So I've started this fire and now I've already begun my cook. So instead of having to wait for my fire or my coals to get to a manageable spot or place, I can begin cooking or progressing immediately. Saves me some time. That's when like that moment you're waiting for, that you're just like, this is gonna be delicious. That's where I'm at right now. This is gonna be really delicious. Let's talk more about why the Burch Barrel is awesome. One of those things is the ability to check your meat. So while we're smoking in this fashion where it's up, or I could just lift it up at any time and just go, yeah, that's looking good, progressing well, it's where I want. This is especially valuable when I'm cooking steak and I want a good crust over an open flame. But even for smoking, I can really see the consistency. So I can decide if I want to flip it, if I want to put a little bit more heat on the fat, which I actually do. So now that I'm looking at this, most likely I'm going to flip it, put a little bit direct heat to the fat side of our brisket here. This thing is, when it just starts dripping like that, it's really getting there. Like that fat is just rendering down. When we started, the sun was over there. It's now on this side of my face. Turned out to be a great day. Our brisket is ready. It's reached 202 internal temp. It is still wrapped. I'm gonna take it out of the barrel, keeping it wrapped. Just put it in a cooler. You can also put it inside of an oven. Don't turn the oven on. It just needs to kind of be in a container that retains some heat, and you want to rest this thing. I like to rest up to 2 hours, but really I look at that 2-hour period as your opportunity to plan the rest of your meal. So if you got to cook vegetables or waiting for friends to come over, you can kind of use that as a buffer to better plan on when you want to serve your brisket. All right, let's take it off. Look at that thing just sag. It's great. I can feel the softness underneath. Thankfully for these gloves, because it's hot. All right, we're just gonna bring it over. All right, now that our brisket's rested for a couple hours, I'm gonna separate the lean from the point or the fat. I'm gonna just slice it thin and serve it. It's gonna be delicious. Thanks for joining.